And one of the reasons it's going to be a lot of fun is we've got a young man who is running for Congressional District 5, the one that old Kurt Schrader, the veterinarian, is currently our congressman, Kurt Schrader. Right now we have with us Ben Pollock. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Bill. Good to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Before I forget, I wanted to tell you, I met with, I was talking to Scott Brune this morning, and he made me promise to say hi to you for him. So let's get that out of the way.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, Scott, I love that guy.
Great guy.
I haven't seen him in a while, and I'm glad you chatted with him. He's such a wonderful guy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Did you guys, did you learn anything from him at all? Because he's a pretty smart guy.
The one thing I believe in is talking to and learning from all the candidates who've come before me, and he is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, no, very smart man. So Ben, okay. And by the way, I just want people to know, if you go to BillPost.com under On Today's Show, just like we were talking with Carl Erickson earlier, Ben's website is right there, right next to his name. See, it says Ben, and then it says BenForCongress.com. You click on that, it'll take you to his website. And I'm looking at it right there. There's a smiling face. Okay, so Ben, one of the things that I found right away that just stood out to me was, what is it? Is it third or your fourth generation? You're an Oregonian, man.
Fourth generation, yes, sir.
Four. I love it. There's only about 7 of us left in Oregon.
It sure seems like that. I tell you what, it seems like everyone here is from some other place, and us native Oregonians are getting more rare every day.
Yeah, boy. All right, so what is kind of your background and your family's background? What do you businesses, or what have you been doing?
Yeah, sure. I'm currently helping run my family's small business. We're here in the district. We're in Canby. We've been in business for 37 years. Before that, I have a background in politics, campaigns. I have a master's degree in public policy. I've worked for some well-known conservatives, Congressman Steve King, Rick Perry, Ted Cruz. So I have a background in this stuff, and conservative politics specifically. Before I came back home, and I've been working here in the small business for the last couple of years.
You know, I have to tell you, I was talking to Congressman Greg Walden about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and he said to me, he said, "There's this sharp young man who used to work," and this is how he put it, "with King on the Hill, and you're going to like him."
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what he meant by that. He just said that, and now that you've just said that, Congressman King, that's some good stuff to have in your resume.
Well, it absolutely is. Steve King was Tea Party before the Tea Party was a thing, and I learned a lot working for him, and that was a great way to get started in politics, and I'm really thankful for that experience, and I'm glad you heard that already.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I try to put the fingers out there once in a while and figure out what's going on. And sniff the wind a little bit. So, again, Ben Pollock with us, running for CD5 here in the congressional district that I live in, and Kurt Schrader is currently our congressman. Let me ask you this. You say it on your website. You talk about your youth and how you're inheriting some things. So how old are you? And talk a little bit about that, what you're afraid of that you're inheriting.
Yeah, I'm 28 years old. So I'm one of those millennials, as they call them. I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of tens and tens, if not hundreds, of trillions of dollars in unfunded liabilities and debt. I'm afraid that I'm paying into Social Security with every paycheck, and I'm never going to see a dime out of it. I'm afraid that my generation is really in trouble. We have student loan debts. We can't find jobs. We live with our parents. A whole lot of us can't even conceive of getting married, buying a house, or having kids because of this economy we've been saddled with. And now we have to buy health insurance on top of it, assuming the website works. And we've got a lot to be worried about. Now, when I talk to voters across the district, when I'm going door to door or talking to groups, I'm talking to a lot of older voters, a lot of seniors, and they're all excited to have someone young running. They're tired of voting for the same people election after election, and they're concerned about the same things I'm concerned because they want their grandkids to have the same opportunity they did. So I think we've got a real good message here that resonates with the people, and I'm really excited.
I like that. Again, Ben Pollock, and it's Pollock, just so you get the spelling. Ben, tell me this. We were just having a discussion last hour with a gentleman who's running as a Republican here in one of the House districts, House District 20.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about some things. A lot of people think nowadays, especially in Oregon, you've got to run to the middle, sort of. And then there's those who say, well, if you don't run to the right, you're out in my book. And we're in a weird time right now, really weird time.
I agree.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Would you consider yourself, see, I call people a well-rounded conservative, meaning you're fiscally conservative, you're socially conservative, or do you feel like there's some things you're not so much on, or you are more on this and less on that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question, and I think I am solidly conservative. Look, I wouldn't have been able to work for Steve King, Rick Perry, and Ted Cruz if I wasn't conservative. And I think the point you bring up about running to the right versus running to the middle, I think that completely misses the real issue. And the real issue is the fact that we are not running our campaigns in the state of Oregon in a way that allows us to win. We're not embracing 21st century campaigning techniques. And that's one of the reasons I'm in this race, is because I bring that experience to the table. We're running this race to win it. We're going to do it with 21st century technologies. Let me just real briefly explain this. We launched early. We launched in October, which people don't do here. It allows us to build our name ID and set the narrative of the campaign. It's not just about talking about all the bad things Kurt Schrader has done. It's about introducing myself to the voters.
Oh, I think we just lost him. You still there, Ben? All right. Well, we'll see if he calls back. All right. Again, we're interviewing Ben Pollock. Here's what I'll do. I'll take a break right now. We'll come back and we'll get Ben back on the line. Ben Pollock for Congress in CD5. Ben, if you're still listening, get on a hard line if you can. That would help a lot.
He's an equal opportunity antagonist. The Bill Post Radio Show.
All right. So we have him back on. Yes. All right. Let's go back to the phone. Ben's with us. Ben Pollock, you there, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh,
hey.
good. Okay.
They always tell you to be on landlines for these things, and I'm on one, and my phone just died. I don't know what the heck's going on.
You know what are you gonna do? I don't know. Never mind.
Technology. What can you do, right?
I know. It does, and yet the cell phones are more reliable, and yet the cell phones you get in those bad areas, and it just drives me crazy. Anyway, I don't remember where we are. I hope you do.
I don't need. It's unfortunate because I got to tell you, I was on a roll.
I know.
I was killing it, and now I've lost my place.
I'm so sorry.
But look, I was talking about how we're going to bring a 21st century
that was it.
to the state.
Yes, 21st century technology. Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go into it all again. If I repeat myself, I apologize. Look, we launched early. We launched the campaign in October, which is almost unheard of here. It allows us to set the narrative, build name ID, and get my message out there early. We have a very aggressive social media strategy that we're employing, using the skills that I learned when I was on Ted Cruz's digital media team. We had no business winning that election, and we did, partly because of the way we harnessed social media, and we're doing that here too. And we're also embracing grassroots, but we're not just going knocking on every Republican's door or knocking on doors randomly. We're doing it through data analysis, advanced micro-targeting. It allows us to know who our voters are and turn them out on Election Day, well, as soon as they get their ballots. And that's what's going to make a difference here. It's not about running to the center or whatnot. It's about knowing who your voters are and turning them out to vote.
And I'm huge on that. Believe me. Trust me on that. I sit here every day and I tick off about half of my audience because I tell them you really need, if you're going to live in Oregon and you're going to vote in Oregon in the primary, which is a closed primary, you must register either Republican or Democrat or you don't get to vote.
Exactly.
It's real simple. Exactly. And yet I get so many people upset with me over that. I don't want to be a Republican. I don't want to be a Democrat. Okay, then don't vote.
Yeah, exactly. pick which party you're closer aligned to, and then vote in that primary so you have a say in what's going on. And I think we're right. We're on the right track here, and we have a strategy that is going to put us over the top on the election day. We're doing things you haven't really seen much of in Oregon. Like I said, we're running that 21st century Republican campaign, which desperately needs to happen here because the 5th district, as goes the 5th district, so goes Oregon. If we can turn this district, we can win for those races at the top of the ticket as well. So it's very important that we do our work here properly in this race.
I have to tell you, I absolutely agree. I really have this, I don't know what it is. I sometimes get these really strange, weird feelings, but I have this strange feeling that we could actually win at least two federal races in Oregon, but actually might not be as successful in state races, which is scary but sad, but weird but true.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I mean, we're going to employ our strategy here in the 5th district, and luckily that covers a lot of state races as well. So hopefully we can help push those guys over the top.
That's what I hope too. It's just I don't know why, but I really think for the first time in a long time, this district, CD5, and I think CD4 too, is winnable. Yeah. It is very winnable, and I think that U.S. Senate seat is very winnable.
That Senate seat absolutely is winnable. And this district, this 5th district, is very winnable. And the key is you have to have a candidate who knows how to campaign in the 21st century, and you have to have the tools at your disposal to do things that haven't been done in this state before. And that's one of the things I bring to the table.
All right, and again, Ben Pollack running for Congress here in the 5th District. One of the things is, we know just looking at numbers, it's about a +1, maybe +1.5 Democrat to Republican registration, but almost equally is the, quote, independent / non-affiliated voter in this district. A lot of those. So even if you get every Republican to vote for you and some of the Democrats sit out, you still could lose. You've got to get those non-affiliated independent voters, don't you?
I mean, yes, you absolutely do. Obviously, since it's a closed primary, those people can't vote in the primary. But once you move to the general, you do have to win some of them. And one of the ways we can do that is I don't see this Obamacare thing going away anytime soon. No. You have a lot of hardworking men and women out there who are trying to support their families with a job, and now they're saddled, even after their subsidies have kicked in, they're saddled with hundreds of dollars a month at minimum in new expenses, and that's a lot for a working family. And that problem is not going to go away so long as Obamacare is law. And so I think you're going to have a lot of independent voters who are fed up with the status quo and are ready to switch sides.
Yeah, and you're right. I was pointing towards the general. See, I've already got you in the general, so don't.
Yeah,
I'm thinking ahead.
Thank you.
I'm thinking ahead, Ben. I'm always trying to think ahead. Okay, but yeah, you're right. We've got to. The numbers just are what they are. Again, Ben Pollack. If you go to benforcongress.com, you'll read all about him. Now, one of the things that I noticed, as you said, with this 21st century technology and whatnot, is Twitter and Facebook and all those sorts of things. You had I don't know where I saw it, Facebook, Twitter, maybe both. You were even asking people to help you pick a sign or a sticker or something, weren't you?
Yeah, we did and we just started this yesterday. We're doing a yard sign poll. We put up 4 different designs for yard signs, and we're letting the people choose which yard sign they want.
I love it. That's great. That's not only are you getting people involved, but your name is circulating through their brains. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's right there on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BenForCongress. It's still one of the top things on there if any of your listeners want to go vote.
And it's still open for people to vote on?
Oh, yeah, we're going to make a decision at the end of the week.
Oh, okay.
And, I got to tell you, it's pretty overwhelming so far. Someone's going to have to stack the ballot box to change that outcome. But I'd love to hear as many thoughts on our designs as possible.
Well, I have to say, I really liked the red one, turn red. But I get it where people were coming from about, well, we shouldn't say anything about red. It smacks of commies. But I thought it was a pretty cool sign.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's a great, especially in the primary, and the turn it red thing. it's true. Like I said earlier, if we win the 5th district, we're not just going to turn the district; we're going to turn the entire state. So it's kind of it's a nice message. I could see it being a secondary campaign sign.
Yeah.
I personally would like to have it.
Well, I'll tell you, Ben, I remember when Oregon was red, okay?
Yeah.
I have a bumper
Yeah.
sticker that's on my website that says something along the lines of, I remember when Oregon was right. I remember. It wasn't that long. About the time you were born, it was right.
Yeah.
When people came to Oregon, they said, boy, this place is conservative. Holy cow. It was a different state. I don't know what in the world happened, but a guy like you would be a real boon to this state. And I appreciate the fact that you're running, and I appreciate the fact that you took some time to chat with us today and introduce yourself.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
You bet. All right, so benforcongress.com. He's on Facebook. He's on Twitter. You'll find him all over the place. All those links are there at benforcongress.com. Ben, we will chat some more, obviously, between now and the primary, and then hopefully after.
Sounds great. Thank you.
You take care. All right, there you go. Ben Pollock, Pollock. He's running for Congress in the 5th Congressional District.